Hey everyone, welcome back to Self-Publishing Central. If you are new here, welcome. I'm Caroline, and every single week I share real strategies, case studies, and behind-the-scenes tips to help you build a thriving self-publishing business with low-content books like journals, coloring books, planners, notebooks, and more. Today we are diving into something really exciting. In my last few videos, I've been talking about something really important, and that is the power of micro-niching. What on earth is a micro-niche, I hear you ask? Well, I do go over that in detail in a video I shared a couple of weeks ago, but basically, a micro-niche is a much smaller, highly targeted, and in-demand niche that falls within a large, competitive general niche. Coloring books or journals, for example, are large, competitive general niches. These are both super popular, but also highly competitive niches that can be really hard to make sales in. But if you dig deeper into a more targeted niche under one of these categories, you reach a very specific customer rather than trying to reach all customers. That is a micro niche. And the reason that I'm mentioning micro niches again is because in this video, I'm going to show you a real world example of a low content book, specifically a guided prompt journal that's making over $16,000 on average every single month on Amazon. That's right. This isn't some theoretical guess or an outdated case study. This is a real life live book that is climbing the charts right now and has been doing so for the last year. And here is the crazy part. This book was self-published, not by some huge company, but by an indie creator just like you and me. And you know that I love to share other self-publishers who are seeing huge success with low content books. And this one is just absolutely killing it in a quite competitive niche. And when we get into this video and when we start to break down how they did it, you will see it is not about luck. It is about smart strategies that you can replicate yourself. So here is what we are going to cover in this video. First, I will give you a quick overview of the book itself. We'll look at what makes it so appealing and why it is different from the thousands of other journals on Amazon. Then we will take a look at the figures of this book, of how many books are selling each month and the royalties for each book sold. Then we'll break down the marketing strategies and sales strategies that are helping this book dominate, including social media, branding, keywords, etc. And then finally, I will show you step by step how you can take inspiration from this and create your own guided prompt journal or any other low content book for that matter. All these strategies can be applied to any type of book designed for success, even if you are just starting out today. I'll also be showing you their social media profiles, like their TikTok and their Instagram, so that you can see real content that is actually helping to fuel these sales. This isn't just about the book sitting on Amazon. It's about building a brand, showing up online, and creating products that just really connect with customers. So whether you are brand new to self-publishing, or maybe you already have a few books published and you're wondering why they aren't selling, this video is going to be a literal masterclass on what it takes to launch a low content book that actually makes money in 2025. And just as a little side note, before we start, I'm not saying that you should go out and copy this exact book idea and this book. That isn't what this is about. Instead, I just really want you to pay attention to the bigger strategies, the way that they've positioned the journal, the emotional connection that they've created with their customers, the consistent branding across their platforms, and the smart ways that they are using Amazon's algorithm to their advantage to keep the momentum going. By the end of this video, you will have a full breakdown of what makes a journal stand out on Amazon, how to use simple, beginner-friendly marketing to get your first 100 to 1,000 sales, and why building a brand, even if it's small, is now essential with low content book publishing if you want to hit numbers like this. So let's get into it. Today, we are looking at a book called The Miracle Journal. I was just browsing on Amazon in the guided prompt journal section when I came across this book, The Miracle Journal, Your Guided Manifestation and Gratitude Journal. When we take a look at this book, it was published at the beginning of January 2024. So it's been around for a little over a year, around 15 months. It's 160 pages. printed through Amazon KDP, just a plain paperback type of book. Let's take a look inside and we'll see what kind of pages, what kind of interior we've got in this. So straight out the gate, we do have a section where you can scan this code. It's going to take you somewhere where you get some bonuses. Perhaps they are building up an email list. I'm not too sure about that yet. We can take a look at that later. And then we've got some information at the beginning about what this journal is, what manifestation is, and how you do it. And then it gets into the journal where we have some prompts, a few prompts per page, and then a little section where you can answer that prompt. I'm going to go see if there's any A+ content to see if we can see a little bit inside the book a bit more. So it's got a little bit of creativity here. It's not just that plain kind of journal where there's a prompt at the top and then that's it, blank space or lined pages after that. It's got a little bit more to it, a little bit more uniqueness. And it's nice that it has this little bit at the beginning, just explaining what the journal is, what manifestation is, how it all works, and what you're going to get out of actually using the journal. And at the moment, the bestseller rank is sitting at 4,628. So for anyone new to Amazon or publishing books, the bestseller rank is basically just a number given to every book in the Amazon marketplace, which determines a book's popularity with customers. So the lower that number, the better. So that is a really great bestseller rank. And okay, now for the fun part, let's take a look at some figures. First of all, we use that BSR to estimate how many books are selling each month. And as we just looked at, this book has a bestseller rank of 4,628. I'm going to go pop on over to the Kindlepreneur book sales calculator, which is a free tool that does all the maths for us. And I also just need to enter in the amount of pages that the book has and the listing price. So you might notice back here on the sales page that this book is actually selling for $14.97, but the list price down here is actually $30. That's what the self-publisher has set the price to, and for whatever reason, due to a sale or something, Amazon has discounted the price. When it comes to paperback books, the wonderful thing is that regardless of what Amazon ends up selling your book for, you still get the royalties according to your list price. How good is that? So I'm going to use the list price of $30 because that is the royalties the self-publisher is going to get when a book sells, and that means that this book is estimated to be selling around 700 copies per month, which means the royalties are estimated at over $10,000 per month. Is that not just incredible for one pretty simple low content book? But I do want to dig a little bit deeper into these figures because we do know that the bestseller rank fluctuates throughout the day depending on sales, and just because the bestseller rank is 4,600 now, it could change to 10,000 later today or 50,000 later today, or it could drop to 100 later today, just all depending on the sales that come in throughout the day. Something that I always like to look at is the history of the sales of a book, and I have this little Chrome extension installed from Helium 10. It's a free extension and I love it because it will tell me the bestseller rank every day since the book was published. So I have it on all time. We can see what the bestseller rank was on a daily basis since the day that this book was published. So we can see that it has had a pretty low bestseller rank all along, kind of ranging from under 1,000 up to maybe 2, 3, 4, 5,000 there at some points throughout the year. So then I thought, let's actually find the average bestseller rank over the lifetime of this book to give us a much more clear idea of how this book has performed in terms of sales over the last 15 months since it was published. So all I did was click this little menu here and I downloaded as an Excel spreadsheet of the historical BSRs, bestseller ranks. And now what we have is data on 6 times every single day of what the bestseller rank was. So we can see how it fluctuated throughout the day, every single day. And so then what I did was I just highlighted the bestseller rank column and I'm just heading over here and I'm going to click average. And now we have the average of the bestseller ranks over the lifetime of this book, which is 2,460. So now let's use that and adjust the book sales calculator, 2,460. So now you can see that this book is estimated to be making over $16,000 per month, close to $17,000 per month on average since it was published. So some months they make less, some months they make more, but on average, that is the estimated royalties. So over the lifetime of this book, that is over $250,000 in royalties. And that is actually what the self-publisher gets in their bank after all the Amazon fees and printing costs have been taken out. What is even more insane is this income that I'm talking about is just from royalties of selling this book on the Amazon US store. The book is also being sold on other marketplaces like the UK, where it is popular there too. So these royalties do not reflect the UK store royalties, and they are also selling their book through TikTok Shop. So as you'll see in a little bit when we start going through some of their social media accounts, they state that they have sold over 100,000 copies of this journal. So out of those 100,000 plus sales, around 10% has come through Amazon that we've just looked at, and the rest are going to be coming through their TikTok Shop. So you could just imagine how much their income actually is from this journal, considering we are just looking at a portion of the sales that come through Amazon. We're not taking into account sales that they're making through TikTok as well. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that something that you would want for yourself? I hope so, because now we are going to look at how this self-publisher has done this so that you can do it too. If you have watched any previous videos of mine, you will know that the first thing I like to do is take a look away from Amazon at what they're doing in other places like social media to generate interest and to generate sales of their book, because this is a really powerful thing to do in the eyes of the Amazon algorithm that is bringing customers who are away from Amazon onto Amazon to buy something. When it comes to selling the Miracle Journal, one of the biggest reasons it's making over $16,000 on average per month is because the self-publisher didn't just rely on Amazon alone to bring in customers. They have built a really powerful social media strategy, and it's a really big part of why their book is seeing so much success right now. Firstly, I found this self-publisher on TikTok and on Instagram, Hot High Priestess, and they do have two separate accounts, one for their own business sort of account or personal account, and then one for their publishing account. So they created a publishing business called Tango Bird Publishing. They have a TikTok account for both themselves and the publishing account on both Instagram and on TikTok. When I was looking through this Instagram account for Hot High Priestess, I noticed that it was kind of a personal account. There isn't anything business related really posted here. There is nothing about her products at all. And so this account is just being used to share her life. By the looks of it, she's focusing more on TikTok. With the publishing account, of course, both Instagram and TikTok, they're posting about their book and other products that they have. The real focus over here is on TikTok. And what came first, the book or the TikTok manifestation content? Well, this manifestation content came first, this account, and then once I guess she started to get popularity here, she started to create some products after. So the TikTok account for Hot High Priestess is short form videos about manifestation and the products that she has available, including the guided prompt journal. And then, as I say, these accounts related to the publishing business focus just on the journal and some other products that she has. Now, she does have a big following on TikTok, but I do have a lot of videos about using TikTok to promote your self-published books. And if you have seen any of them, you will know that your follower count does not matter. TikTok's focus is on how your most recent video is performing, not on how many followers you have. So someone with a very small following can have a video that has millions and millions of views. Now, first of all, if you do look at the TikTok and Instagram profiles, you will notice something important. They're not positioning themselves as someone just selling a journal. Instead, they have built a personal brand around the bigger ideas that the journal represents. So things like manifestation, self-love, gratitude, spirituality. Their brand feels inspiring, it feels empowering, it's aligned with the emotions their target audience wants to feel. So if you're creating a journal, it's not enough to just post buy my book links and that is it. You need to build a feeling around your product. People want to buy into a lifestyle, into a belief system, a transformation, not just a blank notebook. On TikTok especially, they are posting short, engaging videos. They're either these personal ones here, which are about manifestation on their publishing account. They're showing the journal in use, like flipping through the pages, looking at affirmations, highlighting prompts, etc. They're sharing quick manifestation tips or mindset shifts, and using viral audio trends is really powerful. And then you can sort of subtly showcase the book along with those trending audio. So these videos, they're short, they're relatable. They don't feel like ads. They feel like content you would naturally want to watch. Here are a couple of videos related specifically to the journal. So we can see this person is just flicking through the book, showing what is in there, showing an example of what you're going to get. People are asking in the comments, where do you get this book? It's my book. You can get it on TikTok Shop or Amazon. Where to buy the book? TikTok Shop or Amazon. And that is sort of how it works with TikTok. You wait for people to comment on where to buy the book, and then you tell them in your comments. On Instagram, you would basically write in the caption on how to get the book. So that is what this person is doing. Pretty much every post includes a simple, casual call to action. So grab your miracle journal, link in bio. And so they're not begging people to buy, they're positioning the journal as the next logical step for someone who wants to apply the advice that's being shared in the video. They've made the journal a part of their identity and their community online instead of treating it like a one-off product. They talk about topics that their audience cares about. They create a lot of helpful, motivational content that just naturally ties into their book, and they show up consistently and try to build genuine emotional connections. And that really is the magic. You don't need to be famous. You don't need to have a lot of followers. You definitely don't need to have millions of followers. You just have to show up with the right energy, serve your audience, and position your book as the perfect solution to something that they already want. If you can do that and you can stay consistent at doing that, you can really build a best-selling book brand just like this person has. And of course, in addition to all their efforts through social media, I always like to check if they are running Amazon ads. And yes, they are. I've just done a quick search for the Miracle Journal. The first one that pops up here is a sponsored product. We can see that down here where it says SP sponsored, which means it is a paid ad, and this just boosts what's already happening with their sales and helps reach more of Amazon's customers who are looking for journals just like this one. So let's talk about how you can take these same strategies and apply them to your own low content book, whether you're just starting out or you already have something published that's not really getting much traction. First, create a journal that has a strong emotional hook. Ask yourself, why does this journal matter to my audience? Next, get your brand onto social media and create short form videos that you can repurpose and post on other social media platforms without a lot of extra work, showing your journal in action, showing how it's going to help people. You don't need to dance. You don't need to talk if you don't want to. You just need to show the book being used in a real life way. Make sure to optimize your social media bios with a clear link to your book. Then, throughout your videos, talk about subjects and topics that your audience cares about. Your journal should feel sort of like a natural extension of your content. You're not just selling paper, you're offering a tool that supports the lifestyle that you're talking about. Build slowly, and please do not stop after just a few posts if you don't see anything happening. You might not see results right away, and that is completely normal. This strategy is not about going viral overnight, even though that would be really nice. We're not expecting those types of results. It's about compound growth. Every video is a seed. Every video and post is an opportunity for the right person to discover you and your book. If you stay consistent, even just posting 3 times every single week and just keep improving even by 1% with every single post, you will start to build momentum. And here is the best part. Once you have a system that works for one book, you can use it over and over again for all your future journals, notebooks, coloring books, or whatever low content books it is you want to create. The creator of this journal did not reinvent the wheel. She didn't do anything completely special, out of the box, or different. She simply chose a niche that she cared about, made a high quality product, her guided prompt journal, and showed up consistently online to connect with her audience. You can do exactly the same. So if you have an idea for a journal or any other kind of low content book, or maybe you've already published one and it is just sitting there in Amazon KDP collecting digital dust, take this as your sign to give it the marketing love that it deserves. Because the truth is, if you have a book that helps someone, inspires someone, or solves a small problem, and you can learn how to communicate that value on social media, there is no reason why you can't build your own best-selling brand too. And so that is it, a full breakdown of how the Miracle Journal is pulling in $16,000 per month on average on Amazon, all from a simple guided prompt journal, and how you can apply the exact same strategies to your very own self-publishing business. I hope that this video showed you what's really possible with low content books when you combine a strong niche, a high quality product, and a smart, consistent marketing plan that connects with the right audience. If you did enjoy this video, YouTube thinks that you might like these ones too, so please go check them out to learn more about self-publishing your own low and medium content books on Amazon. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.